Lawless Legends, Bonnie and Clyde, Guns, Getaways, and the Grave. In the depths of the Great Depression, when banks were bleeding people dry and the law felt like just another racket, two young rebels stormed into history, hand in hand, with guns blazing. They weren't just outlaws, they were icons. They were fire and gasoline. They were Bonnie and Clyde. This is Lawless Legends, where history's most notorious criminals get the spotlight, and the dirt on their boots comes with it. The Broken Road, West Dallas, 1930, a wasteland of tin shacks and empty bellies. The American dream didn't live here. It never even drove through. This is where Clyde Barrow and Bonnie Parker came from, and it's where everything started to go wrong. Clyde, born poor, hard, and proud. He hated the system that made his family eat dandelions for dinner. Bonnie, sharp, pretty, and fierce. She wrote poetry and wore red lipstick like armor. They met at a friend's house. Clyde was 20, Bonnie was 19. It was instant. Bonnie later said she didn't want to live without him, and she never did. Love in lockdown. Weeks into their fever-pitch romance, Clyde was thrown in jail. But Bonnie wasn't waiting in some window, sighing. She smuggled him a gun. He broke out, got caught again. But the seed was planted. This girl was all in. Prison changed Clyde. He saw what the state did to desperate men. He came out furious. His mission? Never get caught again. Never be caged. And take the system down with him. Trigger and tension. The Barrow gang formed in 1932. Clyde was the brains. Bonnie, the ride or die. With Buck Barrow, Blanche Barrow, W.D. Jones, and a revolving door of misfits, they hit the road armed to the teeth. Their M.O., smash and grab jobs. Fast, ruthless, surgical. Their first major robbery, a bank in Kaufman, Texas. Clyde stormed in with a shotgun. Bonnie waited outside in the getaway car, engine humming. They walked out with cash and shot out the tires of a squad car on the way out. But it wasn't just about the money, it was about defiance. Joplin, fame and firefights. In April 1933, the gang hid out in a Joplin, Missouri apartment. It was meant to be a breather. Instead, it blew their cover. Neighbors reported suspicious people, too well dressed, too quiet. A group of officers rolled up expecting bootleggers. Instead, they found hell waiting. Clyde opened fire with a bar, a Browning automatic rifle, ripping bullets through glass and walls. Bonnie threw down covering fire as the gang escaped through the garage. 2 officers dead, but the gang left behind a camera. The photos inside would immortalize them. Bonnie with a cigar in her mouth and a revolver in her hand. Clyde posing like a gangster. The legend had visuals now. Getaway kings and the devil's luck. If Clyde Barrow had a superpower, it was escape. April 1933, Commerce, Oklahoma. Clyde pulled into a field to rest. Police surrounded them. He gunned the engine. Bonnie leaned out the window, firing wildly. W.D. Jones later recalled Clyde doing 80 on gravel roads, bullets pinging off the trunk. Bonnie was hit in the stomach by shrapnel. Still, she reloaded. They vanished into the dust like ghosts. June 1933, Wellington, Texas. Another police chase. Clyde missed a detour sign. The car flipped into a ravine and burst into flames. Bonnie's leg was scorched to the bone. For the rest of her life, she walked with a limp. Still, she refused to go home. Clyde carried her, literally, as they limped through fields dodging roadblocks. How deep is love when it drags you through fire? Small banks, big bodies. Forget big city hits. The Barrow gang stuck to small-town banks, where fear paid better than firepower. Lucerne, Indiana. Clyde walked in, gun raised. He asked the teller politely to hand over the cash. When an armed guard reached for his weapon, Bonnie spotted him first. One shot, down he went. No time to celebrate. Alarms blared. They shot their way out, tires squealing. Clyde grinning like the devil himself. This was their rhythm. Rob, run, reload, repeat. But the toll was stacking up. Blood, bodies, burned bridges. The Plat City siege, July 1933.
Plat City, Missouri. A motel. Local law found out who they were. The raid began before dawn. Officers with shotguns opened fire. Bullets ripped through walls and windows. Clyde answered with automatics. Buck Barrow took a round to the head. Blanche was blinded by glass. The gang escaped, again, but it was the beginning of the end. Buck died days later. Blanche was captured. The gang was down to 3, Clyde, Bonnie, and W.D. Jones. But Clyde wasn't done, not yet. Redemption by blood. Clyde had a vendetta, the Texas prison system that had brutalized him. January 1934, Eastham Prison Farm. Clyde launched a full assault, busting out former gang member Raymond Hamilton in a daring ambush. 1 guard dead, several injured. It was one of the boldest prison breaks in American history.
But this made them enemy number 1 across state lines. Texas Ranger Frank Hamer was hired. Relentless, precise, patient. He tracked their moves, mapped their habits, and waited for a mistake. The final ride, May 23, 1934, Gibbsland, Louisiana. Bonnie and Clyde were expected to visit gang member Henry Methvin's father. Hamer's men set a trap. At 9:15 a.m., their Ford V8 rolled down the dusty road. Ambush. Gunfire erupts. 130 bullets tore through the car. No warning, no surrender. Clyde died instantly. Bonnie screamed once before the barrage silenced her. The law emptied every round they had. When it was over, Bonnie's head rested on Clyde's shoulder. In death, as in life. Epitaph in Gunpowder. Their car became a tourist attraction. People dipped handkerchiefs in their blood. A man tried to cut off Clyde's ear. The press printed every detail. The public mourned, cheered, debated. Their funerals were packed, but they were buried separately. Bonnie had begged to be buried with Clyde. Her mother said no, yet Bonnie had written, "They don't think they're too smart or desperate. They know the law always wins. They've been shot at before, but they do not ignore that death is the wages of sin." They knew this was coming. They chose the fire. Legacy in lead. Bonnie and Clyde didn't steal for glory. They stole because the world offered them nothing else. They were broken people in a broken era, desperate, violent, inseparable. Lovers made legendary not by their goodness, but by their refusal to bow. Their story is not pretty, it's not noble, but it's unforgettable, because it reminds us that sometimes love isn't sweet, it's savage. They weren't heroes, they weren't victims. They were a legend soaked in gasoline and lit by a match. This was Bonnie and Clyde, the lawless lovers. And this was Lawless Legends. Thank you for watching. If this story fascinated you, subscribe for more true crime legends, where the line between myth and reality blurs.